We've been told for years the secret to avoiding heart disease is to lower serum cholesterol. The reason? Cholesterol is always at the scene of a cardiovascular event. Always. This association cannot be coincidence. Cholesterol must be involved. Cholesterol is a bad guy. Following this logic, keeping cholesterol out of the blood vessels should stop cardiovascular disease. Should. But does it? Join us for this episode of Better Body Chemistry TV as we go back to the future to count bodies, not cholesterol. Better Body Chemistry TV is brought to you by Dr. Sandy, a scientist turned gremlin buster, helping you battle sugar gremlins, heffalumps, and other health horribles through better body chemistry. Remember, small things can make a big difference to your health. So, it's imperative to lower cholesterol. Statin drugs are one way to do it. So is going low fat. Specifically, you want to cut saturated fat from your diet and replace this with vegetable oils. A whole host of oils do the job. Corn oil, soybean oil, sunflower oil, canola oil, the so-called good fats. And eating more vegetable fats does lower your cholesterol. Yay! So, are you protected from heart disease? Not so fast. Most of the science behind the benefits of vegetable oils stop at they lower cholesterol. It's assumed this is a good thing. A few studies have actually really tested the validity of this statement. The reason? It's hard. But no worries. A few research groups back in the day, which was a long time ago, in the late 60s, early 70s, did the work. They showed switching from butter to margarine lowered cholesterol and reduced heart disease. Actually, they planned to look at whether the lower cholesterol meant less heart disease, but this never happened until a group of researchers from UNC School of Medicine and the American National Institute of Health got a bee in their bonnet and decided to go back in time to finish the undertaking. Back to the future. The original study took place in several mental hospitals in Minnesota. At the time, it was common practice for people with mental health problems to be institutionalized. They checked in on a permanent basis. This meant they ended up living in the hospitals, and well, they needed to eat. The original researchers manipulated dinner, switching out saturated fat for vegetable oils. This study used corn oil. When all was said and done, the residents got around 13.2% of their daily energy requirements from linaloic acid. And the patients didn't have a clue that this was going on. Ultimately, 2,355 people were part of the study. Only patients who followed the special dietary program for at least 1 year were included in the final analysis, which documented serum cholesterol levels. They found The corn oil diet trumped the normal diet, and this data was published. And we've been encouraged to switch to vegetable oils since then. But what about cardiovascular disease? Well, during the study, 517 patients died. Only if they died of a heart attack or stroke was cardiovascular disease blamed, and nothing in the original data suggested the people with lower cholesterol were protected. Actually, there was a hint that the older patients, those patients over 65 years, consuming the corn oil might have been worse off, but this was never highlighted in the publications. Of the 517 deaths, 295 underwent an autopsy, which involved sending hearts, aortas, and brains to a team of pathologists at the University of Minnesota for analysis. Unfortunately, only 149 of these autopsy reports have been located. But this is where things get interesting. The pathologists assessed cardiovascular disease in the bits and pieces they were sent. To ensure their findings were unbiased, they had no idea what diet the patient was on. To begin with, there were more heart attacks, not less. 41% of the corn oil patients had one, while only 22% of the controls had one. Patients consuming the high corn oil diet had more evidence of atherosclerotic plaques. More, not less. Ouch. Lowering cholesterol had no clinical benefit and might actually have been harmful. So, why are we doing it? Because it's dogma. Don't be afraid of natural fats. They've been part of the human diet for forever. Switching to vegetable oils may indeed lower your cholesterol, but there is no evidence this helps you avoid a heart attack or stroke. And adding more fat to your diet will help you lose weight. It's the candy floss way. Download our free report to learn more about the candy floss system and begin your journey today to better body chemistry. Interested in discovering more ways to create better body chemistry so you optimize your health and the health of your family? Visit our website at www.betterbodychemistry.com. Browse our library or enroll in one of our courses or programs. The advice is simple to follow and based on real science, not hype. Know someone who is worried about their cholesterol levels. Share this video with them so they understand that lowering cholesterol is not all it's cracked up to be. And if you enjoyed the video, be sure to subscribe to our channel so you catch future episodes of Better Body Chemistry TV. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Remember, small things can make a big difference to your health.